Hi, good evening, everyone. Just for a quick confirmation, is my voice audible to everyone? Yes, no, in the chat. Hi, Ashish. Hi, Asu. All right. So today we will start with the project directly. So, so today will be an exciting session right now. So all of you get ready. Hi, Saket. Hi, Asu. Hi, Sumit. If you have any of your friends who wants to join, like who are already registered, you can just ask them to join in. So we can start it right here. All right, so today what we'll be doing, let me share the screen to give you a glimpse of what exactly we are planning to do right now. So, are you excited for today's project? I want everyone, if possible, get ready with your laptops and VS Code ready so that we can start the project right now. All right, so today we'll be building a to-do app, and let me share the screen, just give me a moment. So, I'll be frequently changing the screen. So, from the navigating from the VS Code to so have a look on it. So this is how the app looks like. All right. So this is a to-do app just for the beginner. All right. So this is what we'll be building today. All right. So if you are excited for this, just write excited. I want everyone to be active in the chat so that I can understand. Yes, you guys are there. Okay. Yes. How many of you are excited? All right. So what is this? Is so this is a basic to-do app. So, like, can anyone tell me what is a to-do app? Yes. What is a to-do app? Can anyone tell me? Yes. What for? What we use the to-do app? Yes. Anyone can tell me in the chat. Yes, there is nothing like right, wrong. You can just answer it. List of things to do. Exactly. So basically, the main task of this application is like suppose it's very difficult. Suppose I want to go for a shopping. Suppose I want to make a list of items I want to purchase, or let's say I want to plan my day. Every day what I do is I plan my day from the very start. Okay, I plan my day from the very start. So I create a list of tasks that I need to do for today, and once it's done I collapse it. So this is what exactly we'll be doing. So let's say what we'll be doing today, we'll be building to do app. So this is the task. Write it, click on this add button, it will add it right here. So once it is, so again what we'll be doing, uh, we will I will provide you with a uh, link of the resources right now. So what you can do is you can just download this for the reference. So all of your repository files, what I've done is, since this is a JavaScript class, what we'll be doing is we'll be focusing mostly on the JavaScript section. I'll tell you the glimpse of the HTML file, like what is there, what to do, and all the stuff. But everything you need to will focus mostly on the JavaScript file and will not go much more deeper into the CSS and HTML section. All right, is that fine? Yes. All right. Yes, exactly. We do use the to-do app to increase the productivity. Exactly. All right. So let's do that. So are you guys ready with your laptop and VS Code? So here I'm providing you with the uh, resources where you can get the. Okay, I'm sharing you with a GitHub link right now in the chat. Again, the team will also be sharing right there. All right, so this is the GitHub link. Yes, the you can share it right now to get access to the starter code and how to access the code and how to create, how to clone this project and reuse the code. So I have created a tutorial, basic tutorial, which link also I'll be sharing right now in the chat. Okay. So this too will be your like helpful links for the today's session. All right. So is it accessible to everyone? Yes, two links. Yes, no in the chat. All right. Are you able to access the two files? If you are facing difficulty, just let me know. All right, so let's start with the code. I'm sharing my VS Code screen right now. So, all right, so before sharing, just let me give. So once the task is done, okay, in this particular, you can click on this button. So this specifies that this task is done. You want the task to click on enter, it will automatically add, and task 3 enter. So once it's done, you can just click on this tick button, it will mark it as done. And if you want to delete any task, you can just click on the delete button. All right, and it will delete the task. All right, so this is how you can build this particular app so easily. All right, so let's start. Are you guys, do check in the branch that is not in the main branch. You go to the starter HTML CSS. In that particular branch, you will find all the uh, repositories stuff. Not, there is nothing in the main branch, but you'll find everything. Just you'll find everything in the what you can say is the starter HTML CSS branch. Okay. Yes, the main branch has only README file. Okay, those who are facing difficulty, the main branch is having a README file. Go to the like the starter HTML CSS branch. Okay, those who are facing difficulty, yes, got it. All right, all right. So we are ready to go, guys. Do and check the create a clone of it, edit it, contribute to this. If you want to make any changes, work on it. Okay. So I'm sharing the VS code. Let's jump down directly to the code and start building because we have very less time right now for this. All right. So I am there in the. Uh, I have shared the screen. Okay. Can you like change this to full screen? Okay. Is it visible, everyone? Okay. Let's do it. So in this particular code, what we'll be doing in this particular app, we have an index page. Okay, where I have imported some of the Google fonts. Okay, here we are using Font Awesome for like different icons and all. Okay, and we have linked the CSS file, the style.css, which have all the CSS code that is required for our project right here. All right, so we have in this repository, we have all this, and here in this app.js file, this is where we'll be writing the code for today's session. All right, so the first, so here what we have, let's understand. In this particular like we have a header right here. Okay, I'm explaining what is there. We have a header right here which have a heading, the title of the to do app. Okay, like take a reference of that image, and here we have created a form. Okay, just understand what we are where which element is there for what. Okay, we are using a form. Inside the form we have an input field. Okay, in which we take the input of the task that the particular user want to do. Okay, then we have created a submit button, that is the plus icon. Okay, I have created, that is for the submit button to submit a particular task. Okay, then after that we have created a drop down. Okay, this I haven't shared with I will show you in the example right now. I will show you the browser, just give me a moment. So this is a drop down. I have created a division, given a class select, and inside it, this is a drop down for filtering the task, in which we have created a filter, if you remember, in which you can filter the task like this will option with three options like all, completed, and incompleted. So here you can filter out the task, like the task if it is done, the task if it is complete, like all the tasks, it will show the list of all the tasks in the to-do list. If you select the drop from the drop down completed, it will show only the completed task, like to have a look of what are the tasks you have completed. And here we have a drop down option as incomplete to see how much incomplete tasks are there left for us. All right, is it clear with everyone? CLR in the chat. Yes, any doubt, any questions, you can ask me right here. No issues at all. Okay, these are the few things what we need to understand. Okay, then what we have created, any doubt till now, then we have created a division of to do container, which will, so this container will create a unordered list of all the tasks that is there that we have added to the list. Okay, so here it will do the listing of all the unordered listing of all the tasks that we are planning to add. Okay, is the HTML part clear? If it is clear, HTML clear, right? HTML clear in the chat. Yes, everyone. All right, then let's move to the CSS part. CSS here, it is a very simple. I'm just giving you an overview of it. Okay, here this is like I have the default styling. I have removed the margin padding and box sizing border box. So this is for the body coloring we have done. Heading font size we have set, and different form properties like form button color and this animations we have added. All those things is there right here. So this is a complete list of all the CSS activities that we are planning to do. Okay, so let's move to the, so because the HTML part is important, then we the most important part is the JS part, which we are going to do right here. Is the HTML part? Yes. All right. स्किमिंग ये लिखना कब है, क्या लिखना है, एज इन आई couldn't get your question. Okay, so are you ready with how many of you are ready for starting the JS part? Okay, let's start with the first line of code. Okay, so I'll be writing the first line of code. Let's see how many of you can answer me. Okay, so I'm creating a constant to do input equals to document dot query selector, and here I am selecting the to input. Okay, so I'm writing the code. I want any one of you, if you can answer me, write this. Okay, let's see how many of you can. Yes, anyone can explain me the first four lines of the code? Let's see how many of you are there. All right. Why use query selector? I have explained, we have covered the query selector in the previous last two sessions we are using, but yes, let me see how many of you can answer. You can write the code along with me, Ash. Yes, to access class. Okay, good. Utpal says, all right. So let's move down to, so here const to query selector, right? So what this exactly it is doing? So const to query selector, it selects the input element. Okay, what it is doing is it is selecting the input element, okay, with the class name as what you can say is let me go deep down. All right, so basically so we have created a constant variable declarations here, and the selector used here to target element, you can see with specific classes they are the to do input, to do buttons, to do list, and filter to do. So what they are they here we have the selector we have used to target that specific element that is there right here. Okay, that is there right here to target the specific element. These are the class names. So here we are using it to target specific. Then what the query selector is doing right here? Then those who have doubt, I'm just clearing that. So each variable is assigned to the result of document.query selector method. Basically, this method search for the HTML document. Okay, it will search the HTML document for an element. Okay, it will search the HTML document for an element that matches the provided class. Here, what are the provided class? Here, the provided class are to do input, to do button, to do list, and the filter selector. So basically, what it will do, this method document.query selector search the HTML document for an element that matches the provided class selector, and it returns the reference to the first matching element. It will return the reference to that particular matching element. So basically we are targeting to that element right here. It will create a reference to that particular element, and by creating a reference we can do certain manipulations. Okay, so here why we are using const, basically why you are using const, what why we are not using let. We can use let, but basically we are using const here right here to prevent any kind of accidental reassignment of any kind of variables. Okay, if we if you accidentally if that there might be a chance if we can reassign any other variable to avoid that condition and to make the code much more reliable, we are using const right here. Okay, so just for that purpose we are using this. All right, so the HTML code, okay, no issues. Here you can have a look on the HTML code. All right, so these are the class. So to this we are creating a reference to. All right, so let's move quickly to the next code. Okay, so document dot add event listener. So this part also you guys need to document content loaded, comma, this is the function get function name. I'm just writing here which I'll be implementing all these functions. Get local to do's. Okay, document dot sorry. Then what we can do is I'm writing the code. Let's see how many of it. Add event listener, click event, add to then to list, add event listener, on click event, this, then filter option dot add event listener, change, this is for the filter to. Okay, are you able to understand this block of code? Yes, anyone? Okay, let me explain this block of code right here. So basically here we have a document event listener, that is add event listener. So this is a JavaScript method. The add event listener is a JavaScript method, okay, that is attached to a that attaches a function. Here the function here for the add event listener is attached with a function. Here first in the first part it is attached with this get event, in the second add to do. So this event listener, this is a JavaScript method that attaches a function, or you can say event handler, to an event, okay, that attaches a event handler to an event. So here it takes two arguments. Here we have two arguments. Example, somewhere we have click on the add event, somewhere we have change, somewhere we have dom content loaded, okay. These are so these are the event types. So these are the event types, make a note of it, everyone. So here also, along with this practical, we are covering the theory portions also, okay. So guys, keep a note of it, okay. All right. So are you able to understand which part you are facing difficulty? Just let me know. All right. So basically what we are going right now. So here we have add event listener, okay, that is attached with the event handler, that basically attaches a event handler to an event. So here we have different event types, that is click event, change event, dom content loaded, okay. And the function is executed when that particular event occurs, okay. When a click event it occurs on the to do button, that is, okay, when on the to do button, when you the click event is occurs when someone clicks on the to do button, then add this to do button, the plus sign, plus button, at that particular time, okay, what happened is the add to do function is triggered, okay. The add to do function is triggered. Similarly here, the first line that is important, okay. Here we have a event, that is in the line 6 we have a event, okay. We have a event that is named as this part, okay. This part is also important, what exactly we are doing, okay. So basically where we are like storing the data of the to-do list, and where from where we are retrieving all the stuffs that is happening right here. So this dom content loaded is a specific events, okay. This dom content event, so you might get this question, okay. DOM content loaded is a specific event that fires, okay, that fires when a HTML document is been fully passed in the browser. Okay, this document content loaded when a HTML document is fully passed in the browser, that triggers or fires in that particular time. That event triggers or fires at that particular time. And what it is for? This is ensure that the all the HTML elements are available before this get local to do function. Before this get to local to do function is called, okay, before calling of this get local to do function, it ensures that the all elements are available, or the element, or you can say it's all HTML document is fully loaded or fully parsed by the browser, okay. And then we have the function that is get local to do's, okay, which is responsible. Why this function, which will be declaring everything, will be creating a definitions of it and all stuff. So this get local to do's is a function, okay, which is responsible for retrieving if there is any existing to do items in the local storage. If there is any in the local storage, if there is any existing to do items, it will retrieve that information, what you can say, the browser built-in storage mechanism thing, and display those items in the to-do list. So that is the work of the first line, okay. Are you getting it? Okay, now when the second one, after query name, the function which, okay, okay. So basically this is okay. Let me explain with you. So here this line, consider this line. Okay, consider this line, Navin. So in this particular line, the event is DOM content loaded. So this is the event. The function part is get local to dos, which will be defining in the latter stage. Okay, and the event, this add event listener is called as a event listener. So let me create for your reference. So let me write it like here. Okay, so all right, is it clear what is what? Any questions? Or is there any specific part, Naveen, you are unable to understand? Perfect. All right. So this is all about that particular part. So even the next part is also next three part or next part are also event. Event is like click event. The function is add to do, and this happens when the to do button is clicked, that the click event is triggered, okay, at that particular time, and the function calls the then the function that is triggered, that is the add to do, in which it add all the items in the to do list. Okay, similarly the same work is for the deleting purpose, and the last one, which is for the filtering. So basically the element filter option right here refers this filter option what you are seeing right here in this particular code. Okay, so this filter option, what is this exactly the filter option? Okay, so let's understand. This filter option refers to the drop down or the selected element that the users allows to filter and display the to items. So here in the filter option, it refers to the drop down in which we have all, we have selected, like we have completed task, we have all tasks, and we have like all completed and incomplete task. The drop down, it refers to basically that part of the code, and the function that is filtered to do, that is responsible for handling the filtering. So this function filter to do will be responsible for filtering the content, like showing the all task, showing the only the completed task, and showing the incomplete task. Okay, I hope this part is clear to everyone. Yes, no? Okay, perfect. Perfect. All right. So here, let's do one more thing. I'll create a function. Okay. This is this add to do. We'll work on this particular function. Okay. Add to do. Inside it, I'll pass event. All right. So here, this event dot prevent const. I will explain. Don't worry about it. Const equals to document create element. This will create a division right here when you add a to do. Okay, then do this. What we can do is to this to do div that we have created, we'll add a class to this as add to do. Okay. Okay, so here what exactly I am doing right now is in this particular line. Okay, the function declaration we are doing. Okay, the function name is add to do. Okay, so what is a function? You know, a reusable block of code to perform a specific task. So this block of code will be using multiple times to do a specific task, that is adding the to dos. Okay, here we have taking a parameter to this function, that is the event. The functions takes a single parameter, that is event is a parameter. This event is a parameter, and this parameter, what it does, it holds the information about the event that is function, event that is triggered, that triggers the particular function call. So which event triggered the add to do? In this particular case, when you click on the like on click event, basically add to do is triggered. So in this particular case, you can take an example of the event can be in like, which is in this case is button click. Okay, the event is button click. When you click on this button, that event is passed right here as a parameter to this particular function. And then we have written event dot prevent default. So event object, the event parameter provides details about the event that called, that triggers a function to be called. Okay, so the prevent default method, okay, this method prevents the default behavior of the event. So every event has some default behavior, and in this particular case, when the user clicks on the button, it might be have a default behavior for submitting the button. Okay, some there might be a default behavior like submit a button if a button is clicked. So to prevent all the default actions of the button, we are just using this prevent default. So by calling the prevent default, we are ensuring that the form submission, we are, what we are doing is, these are all the buttons and we have written it inside the forms. So by clicking on this button, uh, we are adding prevent default to ensure that the submission of the form is not triggered. Okay, understand this. To prevent the submission of the form, to prevent the submission of the form, to prevent the trigger of the submission of the form, we are doing it, and we are using it to handle that particular part. Clear, everyone? Yes. What, yeah, I don't know. So to that particular element, we are adding dot. To that particular element, we want to implement a particular event. Okay, so basically, okay, you are asking like, okay, okay, let me answer your question first. And any more question? So dot refers which okay, you are saying the dot that is there in the inside the double quote. Okay, this dot refers to the class name. If you are referring to a particular class, for that dot is used. So we are referring here to the to do in. So this are all this to do list, filter to do inputs. So all of these are classes. So that's why we use, to determine the class, we use dot for id hash. So this is what, to identify what exactly we are targeting to. So we are using dot right here. Dot operator is used. Okay, clear? All right. So if you have any doubt, we you can just let me know. So let me proceed to the code faster because we have less time. So I'll complete most two, three things and two tasks I will be giving you as the assignment for this particular project. Okay. So this part is done. So now for adding the new to dos, how to do that? Const new to do. I think now most of the things will be easier for you to understand. Guys, if you are facing difficulty in understanding in any particular part of the code, okay, so just let me know. I'll be helping you out, okay? Okay, we are creating a list item to add inside the unordered list, okay? Then new to do dot to this like So here we are creating new element, that is list items. Okay, document dot create element will create new element, and this new element, that is list item, inside the ul tag. So inside this ul tag we are creating list event. Okay, on this with this code, and to this new to do, what we'll be doing, the value of this like list item, the inner text part of this list item that is created will be the value of the to do input, the value that you have inputted inside the input field, that value. Okay, that value what you have inputted inside the input field and clicked on enter, that value will be the value, will be the inner text of the list item. Okay, that will be the inner text of the list item. So let's say, take example, let's say you are creating a, this is for the demonstration, so it will create a list item like task 1. If you are creating something as task 1, okay, it will create something like this. If you click on if you write task 1 and click on the plus button, it will create a li tag with this is the task 1 is the inner html, the content part that you have added in the input field. So this is what it will create. Okay, all right, I hope this part is clear right now. Okay, so input value, and then new to do class list is, so I am adding to each list item, I am adding a class list to it as to do items. Okay, then to do div, the division which I have created. Okay, to do div dot append child as new to do. Okay, this line, can anyone explain me? Let's see how many of you can explain me this line. Line number 22. Yes. Let's see how many of you can save local to dos to the input dot value. Okay, line number 22 and 23, I guess most of you might have doubt. Yes, can anyone explain me line number 22? Yes. Anyone who can explain me line number 22? This block, in this block particularly, I want you to answer 22 and 24. Let's see how many of you can answer. 22 hours new to the div. Okay, great. Okay, so basically here to do div dot append child new to do, basically here what we are doing, this line appends the new to do elements. Okay, this add the new to do element, it adds a new to do element as a child to the to do div. To a division, it will add a new to do element. New to do, what is a new to do? It is a list item. To a division, to that particular division, it will add a child as list item to it. Okay, so this efficiently create a hierarchical structure where the a text is nested within the overall to-do item container. Okay, so basically the append child is a method. This append child is a method of an element that's add a child, another child element. That is, you can say another HTML element, that's add a child element to the end of its child node list. Okay, so here we are adding a styled list items, that is a new to do. This is a new to do as a child of the to do div element. Okay, that's exactly what we are doing here right now. Okay, so and next line, can anyone tell me? So then the local storage integrations we are doing right now. All right. So in the to the local storage, we are in the local storage. What we are doing, we are storing the all the to do items right here. If we are unable to understand, I will explain the 22 part, or else we will proceed further. This part, does anyone need me to explain? Yes. So basically, this line calls a function that is named as save local to dos. So here, which is responsible for the storage aspect. This is basically responsible for all the storage aspect. The function takes a single argument as to input value, the value that you have inputted. Okay, and here the local storage is like here in this particular concept, the local storage here is a feature that is provided by the web browser. Okay, here what we are the concept, what we are local storage concept that we are using right here, the local storage is a feature that is provided by the web browser, and this allows the JavaScript applications to store the data on the user's computer. Okay, this allows the JavaScript application to store the data in the user's computer, and this data persists even after the browser is closed, or even after the page is refreshed. So this data is persisted there. So it is useful for saving different kind of user preferences. The local storage, what we will be using right here, the application state, or as in the list of all the to do items, so that they are not lost when the user try to interact with the page. Okay, and we have the argument right here, the to do value input. This argument assumes like you can take this as the to do input that holds all the input to do items entered by the user. Okay, so here the functionality of the save local to dos, what we'll be doing is we will convert the to do list, all the to do list, into a suitable format for the storage, and that can be a JSON or something like this. Okay, okay, so this is what we will be doing with the line number 22. Sorry, line 24. All right, so let's move to the next part for the completed button. Let's write the code for the completed. Once the task is completed, so const completed. Which part you are unable to understand, guys? What I want is to repeatedly you can ask me, so that what I want is your doubts must be clear within the class. Okay, so we are creating a button right here. Okay, the completed button. Okay, and completed button dot inner HTML. Okay, so here this is we are after adding the class like a to-do list item. In this to-do list item, what we had is we have a tick mark and a delete button. We have a tick mark in the to-do list item that marks that the task has been completed. So here we are adding that particular element. Okay, and this time we are using fab icon, so this is like shorthand for it, the tick button. So on the button, the inner HTML, like inner content, we are adding a tick check mark, like the tick mark, right right here in this particular code. All right, and we are creating a delete button. So we will also create a delete button, also thrash button. But before that, let me add a class to it, like completed button. So to the completed button, we are adding a class list. We are adding a class to it, that is complete btn. Then to do div dot append child. com- So this will be a child of the to do div. Then the next is like the delete button. Will work on the delete button, that like that is the trash button. So const the same thing will do. All right, let me write it const trash document dot create element. So all of you try to complete this and submit me in the next class. Okay, so that is your assignment. This whole thing you need to complete it and share it in the next class. I hope this part of the code is clear with you guys, because two things are same. Okay, so we have created a complete button. We have added a class to it. We have created a button. We have added a class to it. We have added a check tick mark, and through this we have added a cross delete sign to it, the symbol, and we have appended it as a child of the to do div. So this is easy. So now we need to write the, so add to do part is over. Okay, when you click on add to do, like it will create a list item, along with it will create a delete button, check button, along with the content. Let's write next for the delete part. So let's write for this delete check. So function delete check, which will take the event as input. Okay, and here event dot target, and if, okay, so here if someone clicks on the trash button, then it will delete. Okay, if item dot, it will check the class list. I will explain you, just give me a moment. Triple is equals to trash trash button, then const to do will be the const item parent element, or to do dot class list dot add slide. So this slide is for the like animation part, the class. Okay, let me write the code and I will explain with you guys. Okay, so then remove local to dos from the local memory. Also we need to remove that to do, and then to do, which part you are not able to understand, just mark it line number and just let me know, like this part you are unable to understand. Then to do dot remove if, okay, let me explain till this particular line block of code. Yes, this particular block of code How many of you cannot understand? Write me in the chat. I will explain this part. No need to worry about it. Yes, how many of you cannot understand this particular part of the code? Yes, document. We are doing document object manipulation. Yes, we are doing that. We are learning about few concepts like Tom. We are learning about local storage. We are document object manipulation, adding class to a element, how to add a class to a element, and all stuff. How to add events, how to delete an elements from the document. So this is what we are doing right here. All right. So this particular block of code. Yes. So basically, the function declaration, the delete check we are doing, which is taking the single parameter event. Okay, this holds the information about the event that is triggered when the function is called. Okay, so here const item event target. Basically, here what we are doing is we are identifying the clicked element. Okay, we are identifying the clicked element, and this line extracts the element that is clicked. Okay, so basically this line, what it will do, it will extract the element that is clicked within the to-do list from the event objects. Okay, from the event object, it will basically extract the element that is clicked. Okay, so event or target property refers to a specific element that is triggered, that trigger the particular event. So which element triggers, it specifies the which element trigger the particular event. Okay, which element trigger the particular event, and storing the clicked element in the item. So which element triggers the element, we are storing that particular element in the item. Okay, in the constant item. So then what we are doing, we are checking for the thrash button. Okay, in this particular if condition, we are checking for the thrash button. Okay, so basically what we are doing, we are checking for the thrash button. This line checks if the clicked item, okay, that has the css class name thrash button, or that is named as thrash button or not. Okay, so this identifies the, basically the main task is to identify the delete button which is associated for each to do items. Each to do items have a delete button, so basically this is to identify that delete button. Okay, and the class list property provides the method of checking, like here we are using the zero index to access the first class name of that particular element's class list. To access the first class name of that element, we are writing the zero. Okay, element can have multiple classes. To access the first class name, we are writing zero. Okay, and then const to do item dot parent element. So this is for identifying the to do item. Okay, item dot parent element, so this is for identifying the to do item. So here what we are doing is we are assuming, so let's take the thrash button as a child element here. Okay, we have a thrash button as a child element within the whole to do item. So this line retrieves the parent element of the clicked item. Okay, the parent element, here we have division. Okay, we division as a parent element which is containing all the to do items, that is the text, buttons, and all the stuff. So this is for retrieving the parent element of the clicked item. Okay, so what is the parent element of the clicked item? And then what we are doing to that, we are adding slide. So when you click on the delete button, it will slide and move back. So let me show you the demonstration. So I'll be sharing the screen so that you can understand. Just give me a moment. Let's, for a quick refresh, let me share my app. Yes, is it visible to everyone? Yes, no in the chat. So to make things a bit clearer, what we can do is right here, I'm showing you the demonstration. Okay, visible, if visible. So here, this, we are creating a div right here. This div has a task name. This div has a check button. This div has a delete button. When we click on this delete button, it will search for that particular division. Okay, it verifies the class name, checks the class name, and to here what we are doing is it search for the parent div. Okay, parent div is this particular div. Okay, when we click on this delete, it will first remove it and it will search for the parent div, and to this parent div what will it will apply a class name that is slide. So due to that slide, you can see the slide animation is done when the image is removed for that. Okay, on click the slide class is added so that you can see the removal of the element. Okay, and it is also removed from the local storage. So this is what exactly we are doing. All right, so let me share the screen of the VS Code. Just give me a moment. So is it clear? Are you able to understand the stuff? Yes, no in the chat. Is it clear, or it is becoming a bit? Those are beginners. So is it clear? If it is clear, I got it in the chat. IGT in the chat. Yes, clear. Okay, so we have few minutes left. So what I will be doing is I will quickly covering the two things. So here next you need to write the code. Okay, for the completed. Okay, here if a task is completed, you need to write the code if the class list, I'm telling you the reference, if the class list 0 equals to complete button. Okay, equals to the complete button, then what you can do is yeah, to this to do. Okay, you can add a class list, you can toggle its class list to completed. Okay, you can change its class list to, here we have applied the to this to do. What you can do is you can toggle its class name to completed. Okay, so that it will be like something like something like less highlighted, a darker one, less visibility kind of stuff. Okay, okay, let me complete the next function, which you might find a difficulty, that is the filtering thing. In the 5 minutes I will complete the filtering part, and rest you guys need to complete. Okay, so function filter event. Okay, so inside this const to do's dot child nodes. Okay, to do list dot child nodes. Here to do's dot for each function to do. Okay, and here what we'll be doing is we'll be using the switch case. So the switch case event dot target dot for all the case, for case all, like to do dot display flex break. So this is like for showing all the, this case all is for showing all the items. Then we have, let's create one more case for like completed. Okay, this is for filtering the element. Okay, if to do dot class list dot contains completed, then to do dot style display flex, else I will be explaining you in details, no need to worry about it. Mhm. Okay, let's set its display to none for now. If the task is completed, then break. And let's move to the incomplete task, another case, income. If the task is incomplete, if not to do dot class list rest dot contain sorry, contains completed to style flex, else to style none. Okay, then break. All right, so now let me explain this part quickly and we can end the session right after this. So rest thing I'll be telling you, you need to do a research right here. Save this. Okay. Okay. So here we have a function definition. First, that is for the filter to do. Okay. Then inside it we are taking the event parameter. Okay, the event that is triggered when the function is called. So likely in this particular case, we have a drop down menu for the filtering. Okay, we are selecting that particular menu which takes the case, like you want to show the all list item, you have to show the list completed, or you have to show the incomplete list items. Then const to do's equals to do dot child node. Okay, this part you might be difficult, some might not understand. So this is for retrieving, so this code is for retrieving the to do items. What are the to do items we have in the list items? So this line retrieves all the child nodes of the to do list element that stores the to do constant variables. All the to dos that stores is the child node that is there in the child can include right here, like elements like div, list items, and all the text nodes, all the text part, that are all the child nodes. Okay, then we have to do's. Okay, for each function to do. So basically we are looping through the, we are all the to do items. So this line iterates for it, so this iteration happens, so this is like a loop, and the iteration happens over all the child nodes. Child node 1, child node 2, child node 3, it happens all the child nodes, and retrieved that is retrieved from the to-do list. So this loop iterates for so the loop continues from the first, second node, third node, all the list items that is there in the to-do list, that iterates over all the list items. Okay, this loop, for each loop. So this for each method executes a provided function for which each for each elements in the array. Basically this loops run over each and elements of the to-do list. The function of each to do, this provide this provided function basically receives a single argument, that is to do. Okay, so basically after the class, go through the code and you will be able to understand this particular what is happening right here. Okay, so this is for loop. We are using the for each to iterate, to have a loop over each element that is there in the list item. Then we are using the switch case. So based on the selected operation, that particular case will be triggered. Okay, so in this particular case, if there are multiple options, we have options as all, we have options as completed, we have option as incomplete. So basically the switch statement check the value of the element that is particularly triggered, that is event dot target. It checks in this particular context event dot target. Okay, in this particular context event dot target, it checks, okay, which one is triggered. Okay, uh, event dot target refers to the select element, that is the drop down element that is used for the filtering. If the value of the dot value, then what it represents, if the value of the drop down element that is selected, if the value of the drop down element that is selected is on, then this will be executed. If the value of the drop down element that is completed, then this will be executed. If the value of the drop down is incomplete, then this will be executed and it will move out of it. Okay. If the in the drop down you have selected all, so if the case is all, then this will be executed. If the case is completed, then this will be executed. If the case is incomplete, then this will be executed. Okay. So this is how the things happen inside the code. Okay. So, and this filtering here, exactly what is happening here, in the, let's take the completed case. So here we have to do class list contains completed. So this checks if the completed class exists in the class list or not. Okay. So it checks if the completed task, that the task, like the class name completed is there in the class list or not. Okay. The class you have selected, the element in which you have selected in the to do, that has a class named as completed or not. Okay. It basically checking that particular part, class exists or not. Then the conditional display. So if the class exists, that means the completed to do's. So the display style will be set to flex. Okay, we have created a display type that is set to flex. That means a line will come and it will be like something darker color set, like you are seeing when I'm clicking on the tick. And if it do not exist, the style will be set to none. There will be no change in the styling. If it is like completed, if you click on completed, it will be a much more grayer, a transparent version of this styling. So this is what it does. So after that, to this particular code, so that your assignment is, I have explained to you the filtering part. Search for how to store that in the local storage. So local storage, you can store it using the function. I'm writing the function name. Okay, giving you the function name. You can continue from there. Okay, function save local to dos. Here you pass the to dos. Okay, and here inside it you take the late to dos and write the check if here you need to write, say write for the saving the into the local storage, and then you need to create one more function for fetching from the local storage, fetching all the data from the local storage. Okay, this you need to do. This too you need to have a make a research of it and write it, and I will see in the next class. Okay, and one more you need to write for the removing the local to dos from the local storage. Okay, removing the to dos from the local storage. These three things I want to see in the next class. Okay, so is it helpful? For the today's session, Nirmal, the links are already provided for the today's session code. You will be getting, yeah, there is a link the team has provided where you will find all the documentation. Okay, you go through that. And for the today's class, there are two links which is I'll be sharing right now. Okay, in the comment you can get use of it. Any questions from today's session? Any doubts? Anything you have in mind? You can anything you have any questions from the today's session? Just ask me. Can you guys complete it by tomorrow and share it before the session? Can you guys complete this task and share it in the next class? The whole to do app. How many of you can complete it? Yes, I'm sharing this screen right now to give you again the demonstration how the things should work. So this is a to do app. You okay, task 1. When you click on completed, you can see how transparent it is. For task 2, task 3. So this is how this would work. Okay, If I see the drop down, if I check on completed, it will show only the completed task. If I show the, this is the filtering part, how the filtering that we have written the code for, how it is working. Okay, for all it will show the all. When you click on delete, the slide animation happens and it slides from the screen. Okay, so yes, complete this by tomorrow and let me know in the next class. The links are provided, go through it. So that's it for today. Good night everyone, see you tomorrow then. If you find it interesting.